Welcome to Lucid Dreams. I hope you like this podcast. Dream state. People are walking around an indoor swimming pool. An anaconda emerges from the water, opens its mouth, and a white lotus flower instantly blooms. However, I consider the creature a threat and warn people to stay away from it. I sense that the flower is a ticking time bomb about to unleash something poisonous, and at that moment, someone approaches it curiously and is impaled by a spike resembling a fencing sword emerging from within. Poison oozes from every orifice of the victim. I am the observer of a failed warehouse robbery. An alarm sounds and the police arrive as the criminals run for the door. They leave a bag of money and, as a participant, I pick it up with the feeling that I can keep it for myself and get away with it. I walk out of a home-based store with Lizzie Burrows, an acquaintance from my college days, apparently having been shopping there. A bald man who looks like actor Scott Adkins approaches me in a confrontational manner. I peg him as one of the thieves who wants the fruits of his loot, so I decide to launch myself at him in an attempt to knock him out. I find that he is agile enough to dodge my fists and raises his own. The punches are a challenge, and Lizzie, who is nearby, is visibly concerned. There is no sign of Lizzie and the aggressive thief. Apparently, I am walking home from home base under a twilight sky, but the road ahead is long, unfamiliar, and mostly defined by rows of manicured trees on either side. If this were a dream, I simply wish I were at the end of this road and it would happen instantly. I think to myself, and on further reflection, wait. I am dreaming. I rub my fingers together and achieve greater environmental realism, 100%, before excitedly jumping to the top of the nearest tree. I see other bright green treetops ahead and use them as landing platforms. As I look down the road below, I see a tall, thin black man in a dark coat walking down the sidewalk and remember my Project Elijah assignment to start a conversation. I immediately walk down to the sidewalk and, seeing that the man is still walking, I yell, "Hey, you, stop." The man turns around and starts walking towards me. As he gets closer, he gradually decreases in size and begins to look like a schoolboy. His face reveals huge round eyes that seem so unnatural as to match the psychedelic nature of lucid dreaming. "What is your name?" I ask him. "Yuzai." He responds when I notice his lips moving. It sounds like Yusai, but I instantly think to spell it as I did. The character shrinks further and transforms into a dwarf-sized squirrel, but I still refer to it by the name I was given. "Yuzai, what are you doing here?" The form is now morphing into a dark brown canine, its shape reminiscent of a fox cub that begins to growl menacingly. I briefly feel worried about being bitten, but remind myself that it is a dream and decide to integrate with the snarling being, thinking it must be part of me, so I gently place my hand inside its mouth. As soon as I do this, the creature's grunt turns into an "ha." Surprised, I withdraw my hand, sensing that Yuzai is about to impart some wisdom. He is becoming more human but retains his huge psychedelic eyes. Looking up at me, he points to the sky and, in a soft child's voice, says, "There." I am so surprised and excited by this interesting outcome that I deliberately make the scene fade to awaken and record the experience in detail. Awakened state. As I deliberate over the phase experience, I wonder if the name Yuzai is a subconscious amalgamation of "you use me," as in, use me for the Elijah Project experiment. But there is no sure way to discern the roots of the character's response. I also note that the statement about a distant land is not so much a proper answer to my second question about Yuzai's purpose as it is a cryptic announcement. I did not expect to become conscious while dreaming this morning, as I went to bed very late. It is also worth noting that the next step in my plan of action would have been to visit the moon, it was as if Yuzai was pointing it out as a real dream guide. This podcast is over. See you in the next one. If you want us to share your experience in a podcast, write us to the email you will find in the description. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell, so you don't miss any new video. See you next time.